this meeting of the Mount Vernon Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that the notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Do I have a motion to certify the agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Kyle. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Aaron. All four. 7-0. Mr. Sanders, will you open us in a word of prayer?
Sure. Pray with me, please. Lord, thank you for the many blessings that we have, the good things we have going on, and thank you for fall and the fall colors that are coming up and all the good stuff. We ask that you watch over us, all of our students and our staff, these folks that are working on the school up here, Lord, just help someone to be a blessing to them. And today, Lord, we pray for those kids that might have left over here out of our school and not went home to a good situation. That happens too many times. We pray for those. God, give us wisdom and help us to make good decisions for your people. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Special recognition time. We'll honor some of our staff members here for the month of October. And if I can have Miss Leslie Reese come down first. Miss Reese is our elementary teacher of the month. And this is what was said about Miss Reese. Miss Reese is a true gem. She is a fierce advocate for her students. She consistently goes above and beyond to ensure students are making adequate progress. She meets each student where they are and has a plan for their learning journey. When she attends data meetings, she knows her students' strengths and weaknesses and already has a plan for improvement for each student. She takes initiative to meet with parents to address concerns early and provides them with materials specific to the needs of their students to work on at home. Ms. Reese has extremely high expectations for students, not only academically, but behaviorally as well. She has an amazing ability to connect and to build rapport with students and their families. Ms. Reese exemplifies a growth mindset and seeks out professional development opportunities to improve her craft. Her positive attitude is contagious. She serves as first grade team lead, and she is open to new ideas and ways to make her team more effective for her students. Our campus is blessed to have Miss Reese, and we are tiger proud of her. Elementary Teacher of the Month, Miss Leslie Reese. Congratulations. We'll get a picture. Say anything? No? Okay.
Thank you.
Talking up today, huh? All right, very good. Next, if I could have our middle school teacher of the month, Ms. Kristen Wortham. So what it says about her, Ms. Wortham is an exceptional individual who embodies dedication, compassion, and unwavering support for our school community. Ms. Wortham is not just a teacher, she is a beacon of inspiration for her students and colleagues alike. She tirelessly works to ensure that her students receive the best support possible, always going above and beyond to meet their needs. Her commitment to their success is truly commendable. In her role within her department, Ms. Wortham has been a driving force, helping students, paraprofessionals, and staff alike to keep our school days running smoothly. Her long nights spent at school, completing work and lending a helping hand, are a testament to her dedication to her craft and her unwavering commitment to our community. What truly sets Ms. Wortham apart is her ability to influence and inspire those around her. She has shown the importance of hard work, teamwork, and maintaining a positive attitude. Her example encourages all of us to strive for excellence and to support one another in our endeavors. She is truly an invaluable asset to our school. Middle School Teacher of the Month, Kristen Wortham.
It's because of her great sixth grade PE teacher and junior high. Right, Kristen?
That's it. That's it.
Anything you want to say?
Thank you.
All right. Next, we'll recognize our high school teacher of the month, If we could have Coach Brian Jacobs come forward. All right, man, there's like 14 pages worth of things written about Coach Jacobs here. It says, as a teacher of both world history and dual credit U.S. history at our high school, Coach Jacobs has consistently gone above and beyond to make his lessons captivating and impactful for students. His extensive knowledge of historical events is obvious, and he has the ability to bring the past to life for students. Coach Jacobs utilizes a variety of teaching methods in his classroom that cater to all types of learners. Whether he is leading lively class discussions, facilitating hands-on group projects, or incorporating multimedia resources, Mr. Jacobs' passion for the subject matter is obvious. Students appreciate his willingness to answer questions and provide thoughtful feedback. Most importantly, Coach Jacobs makes all students feel seen and valued. He is always in the hall, greeting students, high-fiving, encouraging those who come by his room. Beyond the classroom, Mr. Jacobs serves as a mentor to young teachers within his department. He helps support their growth by providing resources, allowing observations in his classes, and planning lessons. Through his unwavering dedication and innovative instructional approach, Mr. Jacobs has earned the respect of both his students and colleagues, making him a most deserving recipient of Teacher of the Month Award. Now, on this also has something of what students are saying. It says, Coach Jacobs is always very positive and encouraging. He never fails to make us excited for class. I am very grateful for his strong leadership. Being in class with him for the past 2 years, I've learned that if you need anything, you can always talk to him. I am confident all of my classmates would agree when I say that he always takes the time to joke with us, but still manages to keep us learning. I think that overall he's an amazing teacher, and without a doubt deserves to be Teacher of the Month. And then one other one that says, I've been very fortunate to be one of Coach Jacobs' students. I've been coached and taught by Coach Jacobs for the past 2 years. He has taught me a lot in the classroom and on the basketball court. He has taught me to be a respectful young man no matter the circumstances. If you have ever met Coach Jacobs, you would know that he is funny, kind, respectful, and very intelligent. Coach Jacobs cares so much about his students and players. He is always trying his best to teach us something that will better our lives. I, along with many other students, always look forward to seeing him each day at Mount Vernon ISD. This is why I believe he deserves Teacher of the Month. High School Teacher of the Month, Coach Brian Jacobs. Very good. Want to say anything?
Thank y'all.
Well, you're welcome. Glad you're here. All right. And we also want to recognize our support staff of the month. We actually had two. One was not able to be here, and so we'll first honor Miss Ashlyn Hodges. All right, this says Ashlyn Hodges is Mount Vernon Elementary School support staff nominee for October. She exemplifies the definition of a servant heart. She supports students in the behavior classroom as they transition into the general education setting. She is a protector of her students. She consistently shows grace, empathy, and patience with students even during difficult moments. She is committed to her work and strives to ensure her students feel safe and valued. Ms. Hodges will do anything asked of her with an open mind and a positive attitude. She is never afraid to step into a situation in order to help a student. Ms. Hodges is rarely seen without a smile on her face, which is contagious to staff and students alike. Her job is not always easy, but she does it with a smile on her face. She is a tremendous asset to our campus, and we are thankful for her each and every day. Support staff of the month, Ms. Ashley Hodges. You want to say anything?
No, thank you.
No? Have your cheering section back there in the back. And our other one, again, could not be here, but I do want to read Ms. Joanne Rodriguez. Again, we had two that were nominated and couldn't choose between the two, so that's why we were going to do two this month. Is Ms. Joanne Rodriguez. She's a bilingual aide at the middle school. Says, in our diverse educational landscape, Joanne stands out as a remarkable advocate for our bilingual students. Her unwavering commitment to helping those in need is nothing short of inspiring. Joanne goes above and beyond to ensure that every student receives the support they deserve. She tirelessly works with her students, taking the time to understand their unique challenges and learning needs. What truly sets her apart is her willingness to immerse herself in the curriculum, learning alongside her students to better assist them. This commitment not only enhances their learning experience, but also fosters a sense of community and belonging in the classroom. Moreover, Joanne's support extends beyond her own students. She is a beacon of help for anyone who requires a little extra assistance. No matter the challenge, she approaches every situation with a positive attitude and a genuine desire to make a difference. Her dedication creates an environment where students feel valued and empowered to succeed. Her hard work, empathy, and unwavering support inspires us all to strive for excellence and to lift each other up. So Miss Joanne Rodriguez is our other staff member of the month. So, all right, have the other ones come back up. All our honorees, if you'll come back up and let's get one big picture. Yeah, you're going to probably lose some people, Jessica.
Like feeling the bear.
I'm right here in this window. Okay. Kathy, can I get you to move just a little that way? Perfect. Okay, everyone look at me.
Very good. Congratulations to you all. Okay. Enrollment totals for the information items. You see that as of October the 1st, we were showing enrollment of 1,603. And that is exactly where we were on September 3rd and up from 1,588 on August 7th. And compared to this time last year of 1,569. So we are up some still.
And then we're campus department updates.
Campus department updates, yes ma'am?
I'll go first.
Well, thank you.
Give me that with.
We enrolled 5 new ones in the district today, 2 at the elementary school. Okay, so at Mount Vernon Elementary, we've done a lot since the last board meeting. We had our first coffee with the principals on September 10th. We had our student panel, did some presentation and getting them out being leaders. We had a good turnout for that. We have our Tiger crew up and running. So we have our welcome crew, safety crew, office crew, our CIS crew, our new student crew, and our Cub crew. So we're raising some leaders down there. Wait till Glover gets them when they're high schoolers. So they all have jobs. I think I told y'all last time they applied for their jobs, and so they've been assigned. They're showing up. One child said, "Man, it's hard being here on time every day." He comes once a week, so little taste of the real world. All of our beginning year assessments have been completed, and the first round of our MTSS meetings have been held. Students are they're placed in their adequate tiers. They're receiving the level of support that they require based on that assessment data. We had our first student awards assembly that was held at the end of September, so we're doing that once a month. So 1 student per class was recognized for Tiger Leader, and 1 student per class was recognized for the character trait of September, which was respect. Our Dash Day fundraiser was a fun time. Everybody had a good time, teachers too. It was warm, but we had a great time. We had popsicles with the principals for attendance. So just so you know, the elementary school won the top attendance campus for 3 weeks in a row. Look who's counting. I went to check out my child. I went to the middle school to check out my child for a doctor's appointment. And I heard Miss Bates say, "Is that Miss George trying to sabotage our attendance results?" And that week they won. So by 1 student. And I'm happy to report that we took over this last week. So nothing like some friendly competition.
Friendly competition.
We're having Dad's Night tomorrow night. We're super excited about that. I think we have 550 hot dogs ready. They'll be wrapped and ready by 5:15. So come on out, come enjoy with us. We've got football players and cheerleaders coming to help. Just an update on our administrative team at the elementary school. We just wanted you to know we're committed to our continuing education. Region 8 has some great opportunities for us. We've attended an accountability training. We attended 2 virtual power hours. They have those each month. It's just a quick 1 hour, but it's really good information for us. We were able to attend a region networking opportunity at Chapel Hill, and this Wednesday we're going to the Region 8 Leadership Summit. So we're always searching to be better for our kids. So things are going great down there. Thank you.
Yeah, let's let's discuss the middle school. So we have, I think, 13 or 14 staff member kids on our campus.
We've got
And every
Miss
time-
Bates.
Every time they check one out, I'm like, I'll call them out too, so it's okay. All right, so even though they beat us the last couple of weeks, we are still steady at about 95%, 96%, give or take. Like I said, it depends on what's going on that week, the kids and stuff. So we have our student council rolling. We've got officers elected, and they have started their October. They're collecting winter clothes for the community. So they started that. We have some really good. I'm really excited about our officers this year. So they're getting to learn all those fun stuff, things that they're fixing to have to do, talking in front of public speaking and all that stuff. That's gonna be great. Anyways, we're planning for house parties for the second 6 weeks. I cannot believe it's already almost the end of the second 6 weeks. It is Halloween themed. It's kind of a carnival festival thing. There's I think 20 different booths that they get to play and rotate and win tickets, and they get to trade their tickets out for prizes. So we're doing that. And then we have the food drive against Winsboro, of course. We've started kind of preparing for that and collecting those things. Our 7th grade theater is working on their Christmas play. They're going to be presenting to the elementary and to the Mount Vernon house. So they're excited and nervous for that because 7th grade is a different breed. 8th grade, they've had that experience, and they're planning for their one-act play competition in December. So that's coming up. We also have a class that is a Principles of Education class where we have a group of kids that are learning how to become teachers and do that kind of stuff. And they have actually been talking and working on lesson plans, observing classrooms, going to classrooms and kind of picking their teachers apart, which is really funny because they do call them out. You forgot to do this and this and this. So it's a good thing for them. So, and it's also letting them see what we have to experience when they're sitting in our classrooms. So that's going on. We are in the process of planning our Veterans Day program, which will be on November 11th at 2 p.m. at the junior high gym. If you know anybody that would like to come and be a part of that, we have a Google form that we're doing. I think right now we have about 12 people that signed up. We hopefully can get some more. Our student council will be speaking, our president, McKenna Gertis. And then some National Honor Society kiddos will be doing some different things. And then we do have some veterans that are going to do some speaking during that time too. Let's see. Country Fest, I know that y'all probably all witnessed that. We had so many middle school participants either singing, having booths. Like, it was amazing. It was just out of this world. I hope that you guys got to experience that. I think that's about it for us. I mean, we're wrapping up volleyball season. Fixing to start basketball season. Football is off this week, I believe. Is that right? And then they'll be finishing up soon too. So we're just trudging along. Thank you.
All right. So for high school, I regret to inform that we are not in the running for the attendance championship. Maybe next month, but maybe not. All right, so I'd be glad to take any suggestions on that anyone would like to give me, for sure. Okay, so the first part of this is an update from our counselor, Ms. Stevens, who, shout out to Ms. Stevens, she's probably the unsung hero of the campus. She does so much with all sorts of different things on the campus and probably doesn't get the praise that she deserves. But so the first part of this is things that she wanted to mention that she's been up to and working on over the last few weeks. So first of all, we did the ASVAB test back on October the 8th, and she's the orchestrator of that. So we had 14 students that signed up and took that a few days ago. She's been working on getting the school day ACT plan that we do every year. This year we have 30 kids that are going to be taking that. That's October the 17th, which is a couple days from now, obviously. PSAT, that's the test. That's coming up on October the 28th. We have 41 kids that are going to be doing that. And if you don't know, that's the one that's associated with the National Merit Scholarship Program. And there's a lot of different recognitions that they can get from doing that. They get feedback on how they're performing in different areas and what they need to do to kind of prepare for the next level. We got the results back from last year. We did have a couple of kids that were recognized on that. Marissa Bankhead, we got the first generation college student and rural school student recognition. And Leah Mentor also got the same thing, so they did a great job on that. The Stevens reports that, we have A&M Texarkana was on campus last week, did a presentation to our juniors and senior students about their scholarships and programs that they have down there. We did that during flex time. We've had the Army on campus a couple of times already this year, as we do periodically throughout the year. They usually set up during lunchtime and do their thing there, so we've already had that going this school year. Ms. Stevens hosted a junior parent night a few weeks ago, just to talk about preparing for the senior year, and making sure that parents are well informed about what their students need to be working on as they get ready to get into graduation and after high school. She also wanted to bring up the fact that last year we had what was called the Effective Advising Framework Grant, and that was renewed for this school year. And some of the things that allowed us to do last year was the following. We was able to buy materials for test prep and college and career planning. We hosted the College and Career Expo that you guys remember with those funds. We paid for motivational speakers during Red Ribbon Week. We purchased curriculum for our financial literacy classes. That's financial math class. We bought those ViewSonic boards that you see around the high school and the middle school campus. We hosted the fish camp that was for 9th grade during the summer, which was, I think, a pretty good success for our first effort on that. And a myriad of other things. I won't go down the list, but she just wanted to report that that is all in the process of happening again, and some of the things I just mentioned will be repeating this school year, just like we did last, in addition to some of the things, some new things that she has coming up. In the realm of CTE, this is kind of an update from Ms. Wilkins, our CTE coordinator. We have started, I haven't done it. Ms. Danielson has started a DECA organization for the high school. And so they're in the early stages of that. But they have got their officers in place, and they're going to be going to a regional training later this week, trying to get that kick-started. So that's something new for our kids to be involved in. Practicum of Business Classes has started what they're calling Mount Vernon Designs. It's a school store where they're going to be selling Tiger apparel, spirit items, and just custom gifts for different parts of the school year. They started this last week. They sold some cups that were kind of themed with fall and Thanksgiving kind of things going on. So we've got some new things happening in the realm of CTE. She also wanted me to mention that Miss Cunningham, who is new to commercial photography this year, class, they went to a competition, you probably saw this on Facebook, at the Titus County Fair a few weeks ago and did great. They had 4 students that had a first place ribbon, 3 that were considered best of class, Kaylee Copeland, Kimberly Trujillo, and Raina Rolis, and then 1 student was the best of show at that Titus County Fair. That was Mahala Holloway. So Miss Cunningham doing a great job with the commercial photography and parts of the yearbook, which is something new that she's doing this year that she hasn't done before. Last couple of notes that I put on here. We had a really good professional development Friday last week. We had some consultants from Region 8 in working with our teachers. Our core teachers were doing one training on data-driven instruction and planning in their classroom, and our CTE was doing some engagement pieces with another consultant. So that went really well. Got some really good feedback. And then the last thing I want to mention is our band, who's been working really hard on their competition show, as they always do. Their big competition is this Wednesday. It's the Region 4 UIL competition, 10:30 in Mount Pleasant. So we're looking forward to seeing how they perform this year, and hopefully they'll be advancing to the next round. That's what I got. Thank y'all.
So for Jackson.
Good evening. Give you guys an update on the construction progress here. As y'all can see, we're a lot going on. Start over on the middle school addition. We have drilled out probably 42 piers that are almost at the center of the earth. So there's a lot of underground water. So I don't know if y'all been over there, but there's still casing. So we've got to case these piers to pump water out and pump the concrete in. We've got about 30 something left over there. They made a lot of headway. probably in the middle of next week, they'll finish the piers, and then they'll start prepping and forming for the foundation over there. Update on the auditorium area. They poured the slab for the sanitary lines. I don't know if y'all even been over there to look at that area yet. They're also they're closing up those two open doors. We're infilling those. We're gonna start the wall layout for all the restrooms. And then a lot of the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire sprinkler, overhead. So we got a lot of stuff in that ceiling before we seal it up. The fine arts cafeteria, as y'all can see, we've demoed the library here. What they're doing now is just separating all the different materials and getting them out of here. Probably later this week, they'll start grading out, prepping, and then start putting all the storm lines and water lines underground over here. And then in the admin, nobody talks about this, but there's new electrical panels over in the admin area. And then I guess they're above that roof area on the outside. There's some old gas line and some old conduits that were abandoned that we removed. In the future, hopefully next month, middle of next month into November, once the welding lab is built, we can start focusing on that and getting the existing ag facility, start the demolition prep on that. So a lot going on. That's a summary in 45 seconds.
Couple weeks. Yeah, should be about a couple weeks.
What was the question?
There's, she's asking when the completion of the welding lab should be. They're still shooting for the 1st of November.
On track.
Think so?
So when you made plans on the slab for down in the middle school area, were y'all planning on 42 piers? Were you planning on having to go that deep? Were you planning on the water?
Yeah, it's just the design from the structural engineer. I mean, you've got to get to a certain level before you hit shell rock, as I call it. And it's just the soils are not really good in this area per se. So like in the Metroplex, I mean, you can hit I call it limestone. We can hit limestone, 4 foot down. It's just a little deeper in this area, but it's just, yeah, it's pretty deep.
Flowing water was a surprise as well.
It was a surprise.
Yeah.
It's pretty common. I think I'm doing a project in Texarkana, and I think it's about 1.5 foot down the groundwater, so it's pretty common. So, does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else?
When does the ag building come down, the old ag building?
That's
Looking at
that depends on when the welding lab is. Once the welding
Thanksgiving
lab
to
is,
Christmas. Thanksgiving to Christmas.
yeah. I think originally we had it scheduled the first of January.
Yeah.
So once they're ready to move in, y'all are ready to
Yes,
start
sir.
knocking down?
When you occupy the new welding lab, then we'll and then everything's out of there, of course. We'll start demo on the existing CT or ag facility.
They showed it doesn't take long to demo.
No, these guys are pretty good. These guys are really, I've used them quite a bit. They're pretty, they got the equipment to do it. A lot going on. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, part of our conversation, our construction meeting tomorrow is going to be looking at when that takes place. That'll be another movement of students. Because really what we're about to do is take we have 3 building pieces right here between high school and K. So we'll have the discussion of movement of students between here and the K building tomorrow as well, what that looks like. I'll share with you what that looks like. From Hella's side, Drew could not be here as well, but he did send me some information from Hella's side. On the football side, the restroom and concession roofs have been finished. HVAC is being finished up in both buildings. Spray foam installation going on in this week. Concrete flatwork joints being sealed and landscape areas being graded out. On the baseball, softball, he has received third-party pictures, the review for punch list items. They're working through that. Tennis bleacher pads have been poured. Utilities are continuing to go in. Building interior finish out is complete in the concession restrooms. Swift Pro finally installed their new transformer, and concrete flatwork joints are being installed, and landscape areas being graded out. So they still, as you've seen, as I've shared with you, the punch list work is pretty extensive, so they're working through that to get that taken care of. So we're hopefully within the next couple of weeks, baseball, softball will be finished. And then as they finish out, I talked to Smith Construction, who is the subcontractor working on restrooms concession. Their goal is still to be able for us to use those at least by the last home game. So, which will be good. We're having a meeting with our leadership team this week in regard to discuss hosting playoff games, and so that would be good to have all of that ready by that time as well. So, I talked a little to Drew about it as well. If could hold off according to scheduling the old restroom concession on the north end, according to how that works, come down quickly and then it's just clear and they don't start till playoffs are over, or it could be they wait till we're no longer hosting playoffs to take that down and put that up. We'll have that conversation with them at that time as well. So,
How would that affect that $1,000 a day if we asked them to stop?
we'll put that on pause.
Then it would
We're
start back
asking
up
them to
after.
give it pause. Bless you.
But it would start back up like once
They start.
playoff.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking out loud here, is a playoff game or two worth it if it's not gonna benefit us if we're getting that $1,000 a day, but if they'll pick it back up.
But we'll pause it, then it'll start back after. Yeah.
We probably haven't had any rain out days.
No.
We've had two.
I bet there's some.
We've had two rain out days, what, about the last month?
Yeah, we had two rain events for the middle school, cause it was outdoors, but it didn't,
Yeah.
obviously didn't affect the auditorium, et
Yeah.
cetera, so. Two rain events over there.
Last month, 6 weeks or
Yeah,
so, I think.
that's about right. Yes, sir.
It's dry.
Any other construction comments? I want to share with you what's next is I want to share with you some information. Are you okay if I sit down and when you stand up? I don't mind standing up. You have it on the TVs. I want you to notice Karen and our maintenance custodial have mounted those to try to help in regard to presentations of our board meetings. And so a little
Does
bit.
that show over on the camera when we're
No.
So
done?
no, we didn't really
We had
realize that, but we're gonna make sure we figure out a way to incorporate all of it
Incorporate it in.
together.
still have some work to do on it, so we're getting that together. We're kind of working through it. I want to share with you in regard to what the teacher incentive allotment. I sent you an email a few weeks ago that we were looking at doing this, so I wanted to give you a little bit more information. I'm providing 2 informational sessions for our staff, one Wednesday and one Thursday, to allow them to get more information on it as well, but I want to share with you in regard to what it is. Here's kind of a paragraph of what it is. I am going to read this one to you. I'm not going to read you everything, but I want you to see what it is. This was established through legislature and TA with a goal of providing outstanding teachers an accessible pathway to a 6-figure salary. Unlike previous education programs, the teacher incentive allotment is not a grant. Through approved local designation systems, districts can identify and designate outstanding teachers based on student growth and classroom observations. Employing designated teachers generates extra funding for districts to reward top performers. This is not, the TIA is not funded locally, it's funded through the state. And if we go through this process and we become a TIA district, what it also allows is for, say, if a teacher has earned this designation from ascending from a different district, when they come here, that money follows them. And so they carry that, as you'll see, for 5 years. Provides funding school districts through the Foundation School Program. As I said, you see there on the bottom, it provides the opportunity for teachers to make, according to how they are designated, whether they reach recognized, exemplary, or a master level performance. And how you get there is based upon how we as a district put all of that together with teacher input. And so that's part of the process over the next year or so. So for us, it shows you between 3,000 and 9,000 for recognized 6 and 18 for exemplary, and 12 to 32 for masters. And so specifically for Mount Vernon ISD, if an elementary teacher reached recognized level, that elementary teacher would realize an additional $6,560. If elementary teacher becomes exemplary, it'll be $13,120. And if they reach the master level, it's $23,867 that teacher will get for the next 5 years. And so once you reach that designation, that's a 5-year designation. And so in essence, if your 5-year average, especially at the master's level, that's a significant increase for a teacher.
And that's per year?
Per year. That's each year for the next 5 years. Middle school and high school are just a little bit less. That level of funding is based upon low socioeconomic numbers. And so as always, middle school numbers, you get more middle school students, and parents turn in those numbers into middle school or high school. So that's why, so for example, on the master level, the highest level, as I said, for elementary is $23,867, middle school is $23,154, and a high school teacher would realize $22,828. So again, anywhere from about a little over 6,000 to a little over almost 24,000 according to the campus, if a teacher receives that designation. Now, there's actually another way. A teacher can go through the process to be a national board certified teacher. That also designation goes for 5 years. That's something that they do on their own, and it's a pretty rigorous process that they go through to get that. National board certification does not. The funding for that, I think, is about right around $4,500, I believe. I think it's not based upon recognized elementary or exemplary or master. It's just a set number. So if a teacher went through the national board certification process and received that, and then the next year they received either the recognized exemplary or master level, then they would receive the higher amount of what they have. Okay. So it'll be on the teacher's certificate. As you can see in the corner of their certification, it will either show recognized exemplary or master level teacher, again, that will follow them or be with them for the next 5 years. Now, here's a little bit of application timeline. We're actually in year 1 right now, and we're in the co-op that is being rural schools that's being run by service centers at Region 9 and Region 15. They received the grant from TA, and so they are overseeing this program that we're currently a part of. So we're in the system application piece. That will be due April the 15th. We sat through Zoom last Thursday, and each month there will be different things that we're having to work on to get together. Let me back up just a little bit. So how this will work, I'll do the informational setting with teachers Wednesday and Thursday. Following those, there will be a teacher survey that will go out to gauge the interest of our teachers and to see if we continue moving forward with the process or not. And so if we have, if the survey shows that our teachers are interested in us as a district moving forward, we'll continue through this process. We will seek out teachers off of each campus to be on the committee that will help put together the plan for Mount Vernon ISD. And again, our plan can be similar to other districts or it can be different. But it will be based upon teacher observation and student growth, and that student growth will be measured based upon the assessments that we have access to or that we use. I'll be honest with you, most schools, what you see that go through this process, their first year, they're looking at STAR-tested subjects only, and some of them even just do math and ELAR the first year, just to get a baseline. Again, so when you do that, again, as you see, if you're just doing STAR-tested subjects, and even if you narrow it down to more to math and ELAR, not every teacher is eligible. Just those teachers are eligible, and even in that group, not every one of those. Everyone will have the opportunity, but that doesn't mean everyone will get a designation. Okay. Let me back up one more time. So this year's the application year, next year would be the data gathering year, year 3 would be the year of implementation. So even if we do this, August of 27, you know what we thought, Craig? August of 27 will be when the first set of teachers would receive a check in regard to this. So it's a process, okay? Part of the TIA, Teacher Incentive Allotment, you know, we'll talk about why we're doing it, develop the vision, and get stakeholder meeting, get stakeholder input, as you see, from multiple teachers, campus leaders, and district leaders, and that's from diverse grade levels and content areas, okay? Three big things you have to talk about: who can earn a designation, what teachers, what campuses, what grades, what subjects, how will we designate them, observations, how long, how many times will they be observed, what's the weight of that in regard to of the program, student growth model, what things will be in that, and any optional components that we as a district might want to look at. And how will we compensate? We'll have to talk about that. 90%, so I'll get there in a minute. How designations work, it's not a pay increase intended for all teachers, and that's the thing we all have to understand. Not every teacher is going to do it. I've seen a couple of districts around us that do it, and again, I want to thank, Craig, you remember how many first year Hartsbluff had out of their staff? 7 or 8?
Yes.
Something like that. Out of, how many teachers does Hartsbluff have total?
At that year, at that time, they had probably had 55.
So, as you see, not a large number, but there were some. A teacher must be an eligible teaching category to be considered for a designation. That designation is determined by data collected for teacher observation, student growth, statewide performance, as we said, and they will receive that allotment for 5 years once they get it. And as a district, our plan that we put together, it will be approved or not approved. And it's not just partially approved, or it'll be approved as a whole or not at all. Spending and compensation, as you see, at least 90% of the funds must go to compensation for student-facing instructional staff. Another one of those decisions that we'll have to make if we move forward with this is the teacher. Let me use an example. So if you've got, say, if we're going to do STAR tested subjects, and you have 7 third grade teachers, and only one teacher reaches, say, the master's level, and no other third grade teachers get a designation, is that teacher, is that all of 90% going to that one teacher, or will it be spread out among the other teachers in third grade? And that's part of that conversation. I will say most that I've seen, they designated for the teacher who has reached that and not spread out, but there are some who occasionally will share that out as well. Only 10% can be used to implement a local designation system, meaning for administrative reasons from central office to run the program. It says all funds have to be expended by August 31st and has to be approved by the school board. There she shows you the allowable spending for the 90%. It said designated teacher stipends or salary increases. Could be other teachers at the campus where the designated teacher works, says they can receive something. Other staff at the campus where the designated teacher works, whose primary responsibility is instructing students. So what that means is if you've got a teacher that has a paraprofessional or aide in the classroom assisting, that part of that 90% could go to that aide or paraprofessional in the classroom as well. The 10% can be used for professional development, assessment cost, appraiser training, data collection, central office supports such as funding, TIE coordinator or supporting HR needs, and any compensation for staff associated with TIE needs as well. Things that are prohibited, school leaders, so the principals can't be compensated for it. Other non-instructional staff compensation, instructional coach who do not teach, central office staff don't get it as well. Prohibited spending of 10%, general administrative expenses, compensation for central or non-instructional staff not associated with TIA needs, or recruitment processes such as job fairs or other costs. So, I mean, there are certain things we can and certain things we can't use that money for. Here's the funding map. Again, I showed you, you can go in and see Region 8, didn't show you specifically, but I shared that information with you a while ago, and that's the cohort team from 9 and 15 who's working kind of a quick run through. I just want you to have some more information. I want you to see again that our teachers, through the certain designations, could make a little over 6,000 to a little over 23,000 more per year if they receive that designation. So through that second year of data collection, there'll be a lot of calibration going on among our leadership team to be sure that we're evaluating teachers properly and the same. So a lot of training that we'll go through with that as well. Okay. Any questions that I can answer for you, or try to answer for you in regard to it? Okay. Good. Okay.
And then the next step, anyone for open forum?
We have one. I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead. Can I talk from here?
Well, if you will, ma'am, if you'll come up here, please. It's Miss Janie Davis. Miss Davis, before you speak, Miss Ramsey has something that she needs to read to give you a little bit of parameters in regard to open forum, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start while you take the podium. I will begin the open forum of this meeting with a few remarks of my own to clarify what is appropriate and not appropriate for public comment. Mount Vernon ISD board policies are the law of this school district, and the Board of Trustees will follow the law. Policy BED local governs the public comment portion of this meeting. Audience participation is limited to the public comments portion of the meeting. At all other times, the audience shall not attempt to enter discussion, debate, or ask questions on matters being considered by the board. At regular meetings, the board permits public comments relating to the district regardless of whether the topic is an agenda item. At special meetings, the board limits public comment to agenda items. Individuals who want to participate in public comments must sign up and indicate their topic of choice before the meeting begins. If you have not signed up already, then you will not be permitted to speak at tonight's meeting. Each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. If you require the assistance of a translator to the English language, then you will receive twice the amount of time if you're speaking on an agenda topic. Board policy allows me to adjust the amount of time for public comments when necessary for effective meeting management or to accommodate large numbers of individuals wishing to address the board. On agenda topics, each person is allowed to speak individually. Do not expect a debate with the board or individual trustees. Public comments cannot be used to discuss a specific complaint or grievance. For example, if a parent has a specific complaint regarding his student, a decision relating to a student, or against specific school personnel, then that complaint must go through the process in board policy FNG local. Employee complaints regarding their own work or other employees must go through the process in board policy DGBA local. These topics cannot be discussed in the public comment forum of a board meeting. Anyone who violates this policy will be given one warning. If the speaker violates this policy a second time, then that speaker's time will be immediately end. Refusal to abide by this policy will result in the speaker's removal from the board meeting. Thank you in advance for following the policy of Mount Vernon ISD.
I don't know a lot. Okay, this is, I am a part of the athletics. My grandson is in 9th grade, okay? I'm coming to y'all to address an issue that happened Friday night. I go to every one of the varsity games. It don't matter if it's 30 minutes or if it's an hour, or if it's right here, okay? We had guests at our game Friday night. I was surrounded by 3 board members. We had a coach, his pregnant wife, and parents, a coach to the parents, and a sibling to the left, then a coach's brother to the right. All these people live out of town. We're supposed to represent Mount Vernon. It doesn't matter. To the right of me, across the way, there was public people, people that represent our county, people that work at the school, represents our school, and then their families talking bad about our coaches' staff. Okay? That's not right. That's not right at all. Not only does our head coach have a wife in the stadium, he has a 13-year-old child. Okay? And then you've got parents all around that their kids are out there on that field. Again, somebody sitting in this room probably wants to say, lady, will you sit down and shut up? Because I don't have a voice when I leave the game, okay? All I'm asking y'all to do is address this board to the members that they're representing our school, and when they have family members that are sitting there dogging the kids and the coaches to refrain their family from doing that. Because every one of these kids, the coaches don't decide on Friday morning, I'm going out there, we're gonna lose. I'm gonna put this kid here and this kid here, and we're gonna lose. They give 70 hours of their time to figure out how to win. Every one of them young men are still kids at heart, and they do not deserve the stuff that's being said about them. And the reason I'm here today is I don't get out very much, and I went to Mount Pleasant to a restaurant, and this place was supposed to be packed of people to handle the coaches. Now, let me tell you about your coaches. I lost my husband 2 years ago. My grandson found me, okay? When he goes to any of those coaches, all 12 of them, they're there for him. His cleats got stolen this year. The world came to the end. They found the cleats. If he's down and out, they take him aside and talk to him. They're very loving, nurture men. And they do not deserve the, I know I'm being offended, I have to watch my way, the crap that they're getting. I mean, you know, when I look at it, I got 2 boys, 45, 43. You know, I could take kids somewhere else. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but still, I was told that 5 out of 3 board members are wanting to do coaching staff. Well, changing coaches every year ain't gonna make my money successful. You know, you gotta give these coaches enough time to acclimate to the kids, just like the kids to acclimate to them. Nobody on this earth has a winning season 20 or 30 years in a row, okay? The only reason they had, Dr. McCoy, you can vouch for this, a winning season a couple of years ago, because it was wrong. It was wrong. And our coaches now are trying to rebuild the program. And I'm asking all of y'all to please keep that in y'all's heart, because they're doing everything they can to keep those boys on. You're not going to hear anything from anybody if they're winning. But, you know, 4 of our star players were hurt, and I think we've only got 1 or 2 back right now. You know, and I don't know if y'all know on JV, only quarterback we had broke his foot Thursday night. You know, so, and that's not the coaches. That ain't the coaches win. One little boy throws an interception, or one little boy don't catch. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just asking y'all to look outside the box and realize that they're here for the best interest of our kids. Okay?
Thank you.
Welcome back, Coach Ford. Okay? Thank y'all for listening to me.
For coming to speak.
Yeah.
The next on our agenda is to consider the approval of the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Motion made by Linda, do I have a second? Aaron, seconded by Aaron, all 4? Now we're moving to our action items. Action item A is to consider and approve the independent audit report as presented by Weatherford and Taylor Co.
Be a test next board meeting.
How many trees did you kill for that?
Where's the answers in the back of the book?
You'll highlight the report page, right?
There's a little page in there in the
front of it. Let me thank y'all for the opportunity to be here tonight, and I'll try to go through it pretty quickly. Somewhere near the front of the report, there's a one-page document that's got all the highlights to what's in the report, 70-some odd pages. Just kind of a quick, down and dirty, kind of synopsis of everything. I know y'all can read it, but I'll kind of go through it, just kind of hit the ones that I think are important anyway, and try to get through this pretty quickly. But with that said, the independent auditor's report is what we render our opinion on the financial statements. That's what we're responsible for. And in the case of Mount Vernon ISD, all three reports are the best you can receive. The independent auditor's report, we had nothing that we identified that doesn't see that what's in the financial statements actually present the financial position and the results of operations for the district for the year. And then on both the internal control and compliance reports, everything looked good. The compliance test that we didn't identify anything that was out of the ordinary, and as far as the major federal programs are concerned, same regard. So again, the best you can get. Then from there you get into the financial statements themselves. And, there's two sets of financial statements, the government-wide and the fund financials. The government-wide net positions, a little over $16.5 million at the end of the year. That's about a $3.2 million, almost $3.3 million increase over the prior year. Total revenues this year, a little over $29 million. That's an increase a little over 30% over the prior year. We look at the property taxes. Property taxes are 58% of the total revenues for the district. That's probably down just a little bit with all the homestead exemptions and the tax compression and whatnot. Look at the state aid at 17%. As I looked at this morning, I think the state aid last year was about 9%. So even though everybody says the state's not doing what they need to, they have made some changes there just to kind of offset those tax things that they've changed. The property tax collection right at 100%, a little under for the current year. When we throw in the penalty and interest, it's a little over 100%. Total expenses at $26 million. That's an 18.73% increase over last year. And then the instructional functional category, which is basically what happens in the classrooms, is 47% of your total budget. Now those are all the government-wide. Government-wide is full accrual accounting, just like corporate America would report their finances. So then we get into the fund financial statements. The fund financial statements are like you see things on a monthly basis. Cash and investments total a little over $59 million this past fiscal year, or at the end of the fiscal year. Of course, you'll see it down later. You sold $61 million in bonds during the year, so a big chunk of it sitting there in the cash and investments. So that's why that number has increased dramatically. State owes the district almost $1.2 million for attendance gains and whatnot as of the end of the year. I suspect you've already received the majority of that money by this time. Then we look at our liabilities. $1.7 million. A lot of that number relates to the construction projects that are underway, but $867,000 of it is the accrued wages. That gives you an unassigned fund balance in the general fund of $5.6 million. A total fund balance in the general fund, $7.7 million. Across all the other equities, a little over $50 million. 47 of that is in the construction fund. General fund revenues was $18 million for the year and $29 million across all funds. The general fund's expenditures are a little over $18 million with $44 million across all funds. General fund decrease in fund balance for the year was a little over $300,000. Then we get the notes. I've already mentioned the bond issue and whatnot there. Some of the changes of the gains, the pension and OPEB liabilities that they kind of flow through to the district from the state level. with the change in the interest rates, it's really made a difference in some of those numbers. And so just know that we don't have any control over those things. And so hopefully the liabilities will go down. I don't think they will, but we can always hope for that. From there you get into the general fund budget. We had two functional categories that were over budget. Both of them, one of them was about $4,000, and the other one was less than $25,000 or so. So not a big concern there. But overall, our actual expenditures were some $787,000 under budget for the year. Uncollected property taxes is $777,000. That's an increase of $126,000. It's kind of what we've seen across all of the districts that we've done this year, that the uncollected roll is a little higher. Some of that relates to the fact that the appraisals have gone up. Even with the tax compression, we're still collecting more taxes out there and whatnot. So if a guy who doesn't pay $100 last year, he's not paying $120 this year. So there's going to be that natural increase. And then the last part of the report deals with the federal grants, $2.1 million the district benefited from federal funds this year. That's a decrease of about $500,000 from the prior year, and we suspect that it'll probably go down a little bit more as all these, I think this is going to be the last year of any COVID money projects that are still out there. So I know I've gone through it real quick, just kind of hitting the high points, but if anybody has questions, we're happy to answer anything that we can.
Thanks for the cheat sheet. Really appreciate it.
I'll go through all 70 pages if you want me to. Any questions? Okay, well, as always, we appreciate the opportunity. Got two of my staff members out here with me tonight, so we're headed home from further East Texas, so we appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight. And of course, we want to thank, of course, Dr. McCullough and Craig and the rest of the staff. We appreciate their efforts in helping us get the numbers together. It's really a pleasure to come in here and work with people that are conscientious of their jobs and make us feel welcome when we're here, because I'm not going to say we always get felt welcome when we show up. So, or at least when we leave, maybe we're not as liked, but we do appreciate the effort. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. Be more than happy to come back and explain anything further. Appreciate y'all.
Thank
All
you,
right.
we appreciate it.
Get out of here and let y'all get on with life.
Oh, wait, we do need to, yeah, we have to approve the audit report as presented by Brother Vernon Taylor. I'm gonna make that motion to approve. Do I have a second? Seconded by Linda, all four? 7-0. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, now we need to move on to action item B, which is the approval, to consider the approval of District of Innovation Plan renewal.
How much information do y'all want? Do y'all want only the change or review of it? Okay, all right.
Just let us know the changes.
I understand. So what you have before you is our plan that has been in place since 2022 with one small change, well, with one change. And it is in the, it's under the first page where it says areas of innovation. And it deals with certifications required. We have had it in place in our prior plan where we could have CTE extracurricular and other language teachers that could be we call it DOI, could be certified under DOI. And the simple proposition is we're adding this to core teachers. We've got about 14 teachers that would fall into that category right now. It's not a matter of us trying to skirt anything. If you understand what's going on, across Texas, there's a shortage of teachers. So you take those that have a college degree, those have relevant experience, and you make the best hire you can make in regards to putting the best person you can find in front of those kids. And we're always going to still try to do this, but this gives us flexibility
to, under the DOI, that they'll meet the local certification requirements under the DOI plan. So that's the only change, is adding core content to that. Any questions?
So to reiterate just what you said, and for the public, it's not, we will still be looking for the best quality
Always.
candidate. This is
Always.
just going to allow us to broaden that pool, I guess, if you will, of people we can look to.
Yes. So as it currently sits right now, if we have to put a teacher in a classroom for any core content area, okay, either or math, science, social studies, and they may be a certified teacher, but they're not certified in that content area, then they don't meet the certification requirements TEA sets forth. But this DOI, under this plan, we are able to say they are certified according to our DOI. That's all it means.
They're just not content
The-
certified.
Right, but what we'll do, what we always would do, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest, you know, there may be one applicant, there may be no applicants for certain positions, just depending. I mean, we may have 10 for one job, and we may have one for the other. We never know. But this is flexibility, and I think TEA saw it coming years ago when they started seeing that people were having a hard time hiring people. So it just exempts you from that statute of certification, and then you determine which areas you want to be exempt from. Would it be core content, just extracurricular? And as just on a side note at the bottom, there are still certain areas that are not allowable under law for DOI, and that's special education, bilingual, ESL, and pre-K teachers. So those cannot be, for whatever reason, legislature decided those would be included under DOI.
Because they're such a special.
Any questions?
Alright. So do I have a motion to approve the, District of Innovation Plan Renewal? Motion made by Kathy, is there a second? Second. Second by Linda, all for? So no.
Thank you.
Let's move to action item C, consider and approve change order to extend the bus canopy to the corner of the middle school for wait, I can't say numbers.
$190,000.
Thank you, I
Yeah.
do it every time. I was gonna do it.
That's all right. So in your board packet, in your board packet seems you that information. What the change order would be, if you were to look at the picture that was included in your packet, it would, sorry, come back to it. It would extend, the current drawing for the canopy only goes about halfway down the 5th and 6th grade building there that'll be on the front. That is the bus canopy where we'll be picking and dropping off students. As we were in construction meeting the other day, kind of taking a look at that and talking through that from a cosmetic standpoint, I think it makes better sense to extend it all the way down to the edge of the building. There is a cost to it. I tried to put that explanation in your there in your board book. We had do a different change of using some different doors. We had $140,000 added back, that Jackson added back to the owner contingency part that raised our owner contingency from $500,000 to $640,000. This cost of $190,246 would come out of that, which would still leave us approximately $450,000 in owner contingency. And because of the amount of what it is, the change that it is, I would bring that to you to see if you'd approve that change. And actually, in the 50% plans, it probably had the full thing, and as we were going through budget, that part of that canopy was what's taken out. I'm asking now that it be put back in. Jackson and WRA's both here, they can speak to it if you have any further questions with that of what that looks like or anything like that.
Where will this money come from? Did I miss that?
Out of owner contingency, that's part of the budget that we have in the bond money already, in the GMP. So it doesn't change the GMP at all.
But then if you already went over if you look in the board book, the doors, it sounds like a lot more, but the reality is just over 50,000,
Yeah.
which sounds better than the 190,000. Any questions on that?
I'll second.
seconded by Kyle, all four. 7-0.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Action item D, consider an approved vendor for boiler replacement project.
Okay, we have two quotes that we have before you. One was kind of that you've seen before, the other one's from PMG. Bobby's here to speak to it, but he and I have talked a lot about it this morning. I know that there's a pretty big difference in the cost of the two boilers, but as Bobby and I talked about it, the PMG is the current boiler system that we have, the manufacturer, what it has. A little bit based upon why, after Bobby and I talked, we'd really like to make the recommendation to the board to spend the additional money and go with the carrier quote. Part of that is because we have the maintenance agreement already with them. The PMG boiler quote will not come with the controls that the carrier boiler already has and that Bobby and them are already using. And again, I know it's a significant difference in regard to cost, but I think as Bobby and I were talking about this morning, it really comes down to, can I use how you said it, kind of, one's a,
Still looking forward towards the
Yeah.
Cadillac, but more of like a contractor grade to the deluxe model,
yeah,
basically. With the one, you're just gonna get basically heat for not as long time as the other one, which will do anything and everything.
So one has an extended lifetime, like the lifetime is longer.
Expectation. Carrier
Is
does.
the warranty's probably better, maybe on the one?
A few years, I did follow that up, and I think 5 years long warranty on the heat exchange.
And if we did go with the lower one, would someone else, would we have to get an additional service contract, because it's in our service contract with Carrier
If
right
we
now?
could get a carrier person to come do it, that's gonna be the
So
problem.
that's the whole question
Yeah,
too,
if we don't use carrier, then we're gonna have trouble.
getting someone else for
getting
that
someone to do it.
specific.
Yes, yes.
Because
correct.
Carrier also does our AC as well, right, servicing that, so it would put them under the same umbrella.
Puts everything under the same umbrella. The cheaper equipment.
I make a motion to go with the carrier quote.
Yeah, also, just real quick, thank you for doing that. We're just, so everybody knows this, I think we've talked a little bit about this before. This expense was not built into the current year budget, so this will be, a budget change that'll have to, take place as well.
But they can't.
Come out of fund balance.
Okay, so Aaron went ahead and moved the motion to approve the carrier for the vendor. Do I have a second? Second. Seconded by Linda, all four. 7-0.
Thank you
I
all.
didn't have
Thank
my
you.
hand.
Oh, sorry. I knew, sorry.
I've already lost it.
Okay. It is now 6:29 and we are going to be to closed session for personnel matters pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074 and to address legal concerns, implications, and questions regarding the posted agenda items pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071. Open session to discuss matters in closed session. Dr. McCullough, can you give us our personnel report?
Yes, have recommending two hires. Azuzina Ramirez, elementary nurse, Catherine Drew, high school English. That's the only two contracts recommended tonight.
Do I have a motion to, wait, sorry.
Motion
Yeah,
to
so
approve.
motion to approve the recommendations by Dr. McCullough. Motion made. Motion made by Linda, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Kyle. Four. Johnny, 7-0? Okay.
Resignations.
Resignation.
Resignations this month. Katie Bell, Margarita Gomez, and Pam Thomas.